Good morning. Well, good morning, everyone. Let me know that you're here when you arrive. While I pull this up on my phone. Where am I hearing this from now? Oh, where is that? Hold on. There we go. All right, now let me see. Is that right? Does that sound right? What? Okay, there we go. Whew. I could hear myself echoing. It was like, where's that coming from? So, good morning. Good morning. And as I'm waiting for people to be able to pop on, I just want to talk about today. Let me grab the affirmation and journal prompt and stick up here real quick. And one of the things I've noticed lately is I've been catching myself saying things, oh, I forgot. And one of the things that I have taught myself for a very long time and why it has eluded me a little bit this week, I don't know, is that instead of saying I forgot something when all of a sudden you realize you forgot something, is that to realize that you just remembered, and it just gives it a whole different thing. Like with our kids, it's like if they walk into the house and you see this look on their face, instead of saying what did you forget, you say, well, what did you just remember? And then it just gives it more of a positive spin, right? So several times this week, and I have been sick, so maybe that's it. I would do something and then I think I forgot. I don't know what am I doing here? And then it was like I would remember. I would say, okay, I just remembered that I was planning on doing this, and now I'm going to do that. And I know it sounds silly, but it's something that's important to me. And I don't know if you can hear the dog barking or not, but he's still downstairs. He's in his crate, and he's not a happy camper because he wants to be up here, but I didn't have time to go get him. But today I'm going to talk a lot about something that I don't know why. When I was walking the dog this morning, there's a song, and I looked it up to see who sings it. And the thing is, it's not the song itself; it's just one part of the song that kept going into my mind, and "It's a great day to be alive," right? And so I looked up the lyrics, and not sure that the lyrics fit too much with what I want to say. So I just created the affirmation and journal prompt around that, because it is a great day to be alive. I'm feeling so much better. I went in last night and purchased my ticket to go to see Stacy do her TED Talk. I'm so excited about that. So I will be in San Diego at the end of the month and seeing her TED Talk, and actually getting to meet several of the people in the accelerator group in person for the first time, and it'll be so nice. But how we are, or how I am sometimes, is I talk a lot about body positivity, and and to be confident and all those things. But I will say, as soon as I booked that ticket, I thought, oh my gosh, what am I going to wear? How am I supposed to dress for these things? Do I have the right clothes? Oh my goodness. And what if some people are ultra dressed up and I don't have that stuff to be dressed up with? Or it was all of those things went through my head. And it was kind of interesting that I didn't even realize that I still had that in me. Until I was going to go meet these people that I dearly love, but I've never met physically in person. And um, we look a little bit different on this screen than we do in person, even though I don't use any filters or anything like that. I don't know. They may see me and think, oh my gosh, she looks a little older than I thought. I have no idea. But it was like all these thoughts came to me. And and so it was just bizarre, right? So then I was thinking a lot about that as I was walking this morning and why all of those things were coming up for me. Like I am not skinny by any means, and I really would like to release a few pounds, but it's okay. But why was that the thing that came up for me, right? And so I was evaluating a little bit. What are these thoughts and what are they about? And then I thought it was a beautiful day. It wasn't too hot. The birds were singing. The sun was out. There was still some dew on the grass. And it felt good to be out there. And I thought, it's a great day to be alive. Why am I worried about these other things when I'm actually alive and I'm able to go and participate in this thing with Stacy and the group? And that's an amazing life, right? And so that's when I created the affirmation and the journal prompt. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and, oh, here we go. Let me take this away. I'm going to share. All right, and then let me put that there. Okay. So today's affirmation, and it's got a lot of, good morning, Lynn. Good morning. I'm glad to have you here. I was just explaining a little bit. I don't know if you heard any of it, but how I came up with this affirmation and journal prompt this morning. I was out walking out, and it was beautiful, and I'd had all these really weird thoughts about my life and my weight and being older and all these things that were not conducive to being happy, but it was like fleeting little thoughts, right? And then I was out walking and it was such a gorgeous day. I said, it's a great day to be alive. And then it just kind of opened this stuff up. So the affirmation is, today I choose to embrace the gift of being alive. And that almost makes me want to cry. Well, it kind of does, doesn't it? But it's like a lot of people didn't wake up today. And we, fortunately, were not one of those. And so that by itself is huge, right? And every breath, every moment is an opportunity to experience something wonderful. I am grateful for this day and all the possibilities. Oh, where did the rest of it go? Oh, holds. Possibilities it holds. Sorry. One of the words didn't translate on there. So that's a lot, right? And a lot to be grateful for. I mean, when you think about it, when we get to choose to embrace, that means that we have control over this, right? We have control over the thoughts we think. And then when we look at life as a gift, whew, man, the appreciation that we can have for everything, like, we've talked about this before. It can be, just appreciating that we can stand up and walk. The fact that we open our eyes and we actually see. If we're a person that can hear, we can actually hear. I mean, there are people that don't. And so the fact that we have, all of our limbs, all of our fingers and toes, that's not everybody, right? So there's so much there to just appreciate the gift of being alive. And then every breath and every moment, that puts us in that present moment right here, right now, because it's ours to choose. So we have opportunities and possibilities to create so much and to appreciate so much, right? Today I choose. I hear you, and I'm still dealing with the sty and laying here watching and listening to you. Let's see. I'm grateful for that and the peace I feel when listening to you and the gifts of affirmations you share with us. It's also very special to me. Oh, thank you, Lynn. That makes me feel so, I mean, it's so heartfelt. I appreciate you so much for saying that because, every now and then I question. you know if it's even valuable to people, but every time that fleeting thought comes to me, somebody says something like that, it makes me know, yeah, perfectly where I'm supposed to be, right? All right, so when you think about this, and I know you're dealing with your sty, and you're working on getting your house situated, and I think you said your granddaughter's coming today to help you. And when you think of all of that, and then if you look at every breath and every moment as an opportunity to experience something wonderful, how does that feel to know that even though those other things may be there, you can still find wonder and amazement in life? And I will say, there have been many times that it was a stretch for me to see where I was and still find beauty and amazement, right? It was something that I had to really, really work on, because there was times that I was on the struggle bus so bad, I didn't know where the bus was ever going to park. I just felt like it was just going to keep gathering steam, and it was just going to be like the snowball that goes down the hill. It was just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. And that's how I felt. And so it took a while to get to a place where I could look at the things that I was going through as the lessons. And something to, like, my being sick this past week was a big thing with, I mean, I'll share a picture with you guys. I shared a picture in one of my groups, and my daughter, you know how daughters can be, right? Or kids can be. Well, she's not really a kid, she's an adult. But I was passed out on the sofa with an ice pack on my face and the dog snuggling up on my arm, and I was just out. And when she came in the room later in the day, when I was actually sitting up and drinking some tea and, trying to feel better, she said, "Look at your phone, Mom. And look at the pictures." And I said, "Well, did you text me pictures?" She said, "No, on your phone. Look at your phone." And so I looked at my phone, and she had taken several pictures of me in the most unflattering with me passed out with this ice bag on my head and the dog snuggling. And she took it because the dog was snuggling. But you know how it is as us as women, it was like the first thing I thought was, oh my gosh, I look horrible in that picture, right? And so in that moment, all I saw was how bad I looked in the moment, right? But in actuality, it was a good thing that I saw it, because I didn't realize that the dog was snuggling with me so much, and that made me feel better. And the reason that I got sick like I did was because I needed to take some time off, and I needed to rest. And so for you, Lynn, I would say it's probably the same thing. It's just been time for you to just rest, decompress, relax, and breathe. And even though I know it's painful, I've had styes before, and it can be very painful. Take the time to do some inner work while all this is holding you down a little bit, and utilize it as best as you can. All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump to the journal prompt. And after I saw that that didn't translate, let me see. Wait, hold on. Let me take some of this. Let me take this one piece out. So maybe it will. Wait, no, wait, hold on. Copy. Let's see if all of that won't go through. Okay. All right, give me a second. I'm going to have to rewrite some of this because I made these a little bit longer, and so is your granddaughter coming over early, or is she coming later today? I know what I can do. I can just change the beginning. All right, let's see if that does it. She was here yesterday. Oh, okay. I thought it was today. I guess I'm losing track of days here. She was here yesterday, as well as my grandson. I find wonder and amazement in them. I've met two gentlemen with potential and excited to think it may turn into something. Oh, neither did. And of course, I felt rejected. But in the end, I know whatever will be, will be. My time will come. And really, that time is now for me to take care of myself. And that is what I intend to do. Beautiful, Lynn. Beautiful. And I always feel like those lost connections are probably lost for a great thing. Because there's no sense in wasting your time on people that are really not the best for you, right? Okay. Let's see if that. I'm trying to get this where it'll stay. It'll come all out on the right thing. All right, let's try this now. All right, I'm just going to share that, and then I'll tell you what was supposed to be at the end. Okay. I just don't want to lose the whole thing. So our journal prompt today is to reflect on what makes today special for you. Now, whether that's you get to, like for me, what makes today special is I get to get caught up on some of the dares that I have with Stacy, to actually get caught up on some of my podcasts that I have not sent out the messages for. And so there's quite a few things that I'm excited to take advantage of today. And then along with that, I plan on, I think it's supposed to be a little bit nicer today because it's definitely beautiful this morning, as maybe go outside and barefoot and get grounded a little bit more, right? So what's one thing that you look forward to? And how can you make the most of this beautiful day? Because man, oh man, just being alive, remember, is a beautiful day. And then write about how you plan to celebrate being alive today, even in the simplest ways, right? I agree. It's the first time in over. Oh, let me see if I can get, if this is pulling up over here. Okay, here we go. I agree. It's the first time in over a year that I felt any attraction to anyone and felt good. They are good guys, just at the wrong time and distance. Yes, yes. And sometimes it's just timing. And sometimes somebody can be the greatest person, but they're just still not the right fit. And so it's better to have that discernment, whether it's they decide or you decide, it doesn't matter. And the thing that's important is I will say, there was a time when I was dating, Lynn, that it was all about whether they wanted me or not. All about whether they accepted me, whether they were attracted, whether they thought I was funny, or whether they thought I was good, or whatever they thought, right? And then I finally got to this place where I had a lot more confidence in me, and I started looking at it differently. And I started saying to myself, are they worthy of being with me? Are they the right fit for me? And I turned it around where I was the one making the decision. And even if they decided to not call, to move on, whatever it was, then I looked at it as, oh, I dodged a bullet there. They weren't the right one. And then I kept going. And it was a lot, it felt so much different to meet people, meet men, and not worrying about whether they liked me or not. It was whether I liked them or not. And it was a game changer for me, because for many years, hell, if somebody asked me out, I went. And then I got to where it was like, some people, I just didn't have this feel that they would be a good fit. And I would say, well, thank you for the invitation, but I think I'll pass. Sometimes I said it much nicer than that, but it was like, just because somebody asked me out, I didn't have to go. But before that, I felt like I was so privileged to have been asked out that I was supposed to go. And that's not the case, right? Once we know our value, our tremendous value, Lynn, because you are exceptionally valuable. You are such an amazing person. And so come at this from the place of, I dodged a bullet, and the right person will come along, but I get to choose who that right person is. Right? Because remember, the choice, oh my gosh, choice is huge, right? So when we're looking at our journal prompt, I want you to pause for a minute and think about your day that's coming up. What are you looking forward to? Oh my goodness, let me get over here so I can read that good. I'm looking forward to my mom's potato salad. She invited me over for dinner later. Ooh, also hope to feel up to getting outside and enjoying my garden. Yes. Oh my gosh, Lynn. I hope that works out for you. And I kind of wish I could go and have some of your mom's potato salad too. Because my daughter just left, and I didn't want to take her to work and have to go pick her up and everything. So I said, I got so many things to get caught up on today. You just go, and I will hang out here and get my stuff done and everything. But now that you've mentioned that potato salad, I'm thinking, man, I could go to the store. I could get some potatoes, make some potato salad. So as you're thinking about that, how will you make this the most encouraging day that you've had? What can you do when you go to your mom's for the potato salad and whatever else is there, to really dive into this appreciation? Even the simplest things, because joy can be found in the smallest of things. So, would you be open to a challenge for the week, for the upcoming week? Oh, there's been times in my life where things were just felt so daunting, and I shared a little bit earlier. But there are also times that I felt exhilarated and happy. And you know, actually, when I started my podcast, it felt like I had was a person that had just been set free, and it was being able to share the thoughts that I had, because that's how I started. Was it was just me talking, and it doesn't show that way when you look at the podcast, because all of the things got all mixed up and had to be reloaded and everything. So things are not in order anymore. And just to let you know, the my podcast shows that I've got like 120. I don't know what it is, but in actuality, I don't have that much. And so I posted a video, or a podcast that I did for my 100th episode. And I don't know if things got all intertwined or not, but anyway, so I just am getting that posted, and I'll share that with you guys. But it's like I am still blown away with how much my life has changed from starting that podcast challenge a little over a year ago. I mean, my life to me is unrecognizable with the things that I do, the things that I've learned, the people that I'm around, the communities that I'm involved with. I mean, it's nothing like it was a year ago, and I am so eternally grateful for every piece of that. And so sometimes, like when something's not going right, it's like, oh, am I doing the right thing? And then when I step back and I do things like this, by recognizing that it is a great day to be alive, right? And all the things that come with action and desires, and just breathing into having a beautiful life. It's amazing. Let's see. I'll also be going into my room where my granddaughter helped organize things and continue to work on my sanctuary. Yes, challenge. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So I believe that it would really help each of us if we would do this week, we could document one thing each day that made us glad to be alive. What do you think? And some simple activities that can help people be more present and appreciative of life is like a little mindfulness exercise, like I tell you to do with your journal prompt. But that before you start writing your journal, in your journal, that you take a few moments to just get centered, focus on your breath, and just relax, and then let the quiet chatter quieten down a little bit in your mind. The one that says, well, you for this, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, and wouldn't you rather be doing something else? All of that goes through your mind. Or what am I going to have for dinner? Or what am I going to have for lunch? And so, yeah, so we quiet our mind a little bit, and then that's when we can write in our journal prompt, or in our journal. However, there's plenty of times during the day that you could just take 5 minutes and just be present. And when you can hear and feel and taste and touch and enjoy life, you've got so much grateful things to be grateful for, right? Or maybe take a gratitude walk, because I think I've shared it before, but there's like a walking meditation that I listen to sometimes, and it's like a gratitude walk. And so all you really have to do is, as you're walking, just focus on things that you see and be grateful for them. Like in this one walking meditation that I do, and I'll see if I can find it again, because I haven't done it in quite a long time. Because now I do things with it. When I'm walking, I try not to be listening to something else. I just do my own, right? And so one of the things that she had us do in this walking meditation was to stop periodically and just look around and see the trees around, or look at the sky, look at the different things around, and just say, I am so grateful for this moment, right? And so can you imagine you go for a short walk and periodically you stop, whew, and you notice something beautiful. And sometimes you notice things that you've been walking past all the time and you never, ever noticed them. Or maybe you noticed them glancingly, but didn't appreciate them. And so this is an opportunity to stop and smell the roses, so to speak, right? And then maybe you could create your own affirmation based on this theme today of I'm grateful to be alive, and share it in the group. It would be great to see some of the things that you guys come up with. And maybe we can expand on those. So like I said, I am so super grateful that you're here today, Lynn. And I know it's Sunday, and to me, it's the perfect day for us to be really, really focused on the gratitude for being alive. And I love that we're choosing. We're choosing. We chose. We decided, right? That life is a gift, and every breath, every moment, right? Absolutely. Yes, Lynn. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning. How are you today? So I'm going to go back to the affirmation, and let's see. Today, I choose to embrace the gift of being alive. Every breath, every moment is an opportunity to experience something wonderful. I'm grateful for this day and all the possibilities it has. It holds. Holds. I had to look and see what was the word I put on there. So just think about that. So not only do I choose to embrace the gift of being alive, I decide every breath, every moment is an opportunity to experience something wonderful. Something wonderful. And I don't know why, but this affirmation this morning just makes me feel like one of those Zen moments, where everything just feels like it slows down a little bit and I can breathe better. And I just am open, right? For every breath, every moment being an opportunity to experience something wonderful. Remember, now you don't have to put the whole thing on your sticky notes and your index cards if you don't want to, but it would be good if you did. But if you had to, you can decide, today I choose to embrace the gift of being alive. Or you could put every breath, every moment as an opportunity to experience something wonderful. You can break it up and put it on different cards, put them different ones in different places, but just utilize this today, right? Today's the perfect day. We're alive, right? And then the journal is reflect on what makes today special for you. What's one thing you're looking forward to? And how can you make the most of this beautiful day? And write about how you plan to celebrate being alive today, even in the simplest ways. And then make sure you take that time to go into a bit of silence as you put this in your notebook and your journal, and you start writing about this. And then Lynn was open to a challenge. So Wendy, I hope you're still here. I hope you're open to a challenge. So the challenge is to document one thing each day that makes you glad to be alive. And that should be easy. I think the thing is, most of the time we may notice something and we think about something, but we don't document it. But if you can write it in your journal and document every day this week, something that made you glad to be alive. And then, it's like everything else. When we come back and look later, it's like, wow, I completely forgot that happened. I completely forgot, right? I love being reminded of synchronicities and magical moments. But if we don't have it written down somewhere where we logged the event or just the thought, because sometimes it can be such a simple thing that can make us glad to be alive, right? And remember, the thing is to not only with that challenge, take some time to feel more present and appreciative of life. And that some of that could be just a short mindfulness exercise, a gratitude walk. What do you think would be a good, simple activity that you could do to be more present and appreciative of life? Any ideas? Oh, and by the way, I know some of you have signed up for the fireside chat with Sue, but just a reminder, it is going to be Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I am super excited to have her share with us in the group because it's going to be amazing. I like the gratitude walk. Yes, yes. Oh, I'm telling you, that's a game changer. If you can stop periodically and just look around at the beauty around you and appreciate it. And sometimes, maybe you're walking in a place that's not quite so beautiful, but if you can find the one thing that seems beautiful, maybe it's the sky. Maybe it's like sometimes when I'm walking, I'll see a flower growing in the most odd place. Like at my house, we have these big containers that have flowers in them that are sitting on each side of the steps. And then the driveway is right there. And one day I went outside and I looked, and there was a little patch of moss that was right up against the raining in the driveway, just a little tiny patch, almost nothing. There was really barely any dirt. It was just a little bit of moss, right? Because there's a little bit of a water that flows right through there. And right there, one of the flowers that I had in the big pots, one of them must have dropped a seed. And so out of that little tiny strip of moss with almost no dirt, there was this beautiful flower that was starting to grow. And it was like, oh my gosh, how is that possible? It doesn't seem like there'd be even enough dirt or anything for that seed to take root, but it did. And So I let it grow for a little bit, and then I recognized that it was going to die if it didn't get into some soil. So I took and I repotted it into another pot, and it's doing great. But it was like in that moment, I appreciated so much that that beautiful flower was growing out of nothing. And so if you've ever been walking and you see there's a little crack in the sidewalk or a little crack in the street and there's a flower growing out of it, it's like, isn't that amazing that nature can just kind of work through those things and find a place to seed and grow? I mean, there's so much that we can find as magical when we are looking for it. And then the other thing, remember, was if you want to, I would love it if you would kind of come up with your own affirmation based on this. It's a great day to be alive, and share it in the group. And then maybe we'll expand on some of those affirmations as we're moving forward. And I'll create some journal prompts for them and just different things. Let's just see what we can come up with, because it would be great to have some of your thoughts and put into this. And I know I usually feel like whatever's coming up for me that I'm sharing, there are things that you guys are getting from it too. And so so I'm grateful to be alive. I'm happy to be feeling good. I'm happy to have bought my ticket to go to the TED Talk. I am so happy to be here with you guys. I am excited to share Sue and um, her amazing person and all the things that she's got going on in her life. It's going to be so delicious to talk about. And so I am so looking forward to it. And by the way, I was supposed to go to my mom's tomorrow, but I think it's changed a little bit about what time and everything. But I'm going to go ahead and come on at 9 a.m. tomorrow, just to make sure that if something comes up where we can get together tomorrow, that I'll still be able to. There's a path behind my office that leads to a park. I haven't walked there all summer long. I'm challenging myself to use that this week and get out daily for 15 minutes. What TED Talk? Stacy Lauren's doing a TED Talk in San Diego at the end of the month. And so the people in the audience accelerator, she had invited us to come and hear. And so it's going to be amazing to go and see her do her TED Talk. I'm super, super excited. You'll have to ask her about it. But she's amazing, and I get amazed with all the things that she does every single day, I will tell you. All right, ladies. So thank you. Yes, it will be amazing. I'll be super excited. What part of the world do you live in? I don't remember, Lynn. And I apologize if you've told me that 1,000 times. She is a rock star. Michigan? All right. Yay. All right. So, Wendy, are you still there? You got some closing statements for me here? After I get off here, I'm going to go and fix me some breakfast, let the puppy out for a little bit, and take a little bit of time, and then I will jump into getting back on the wagon and getting my my things caught up on. All right, so tomorrow we're doing 9 a.m. Eastern instead of 2 p.m. And remember, Thursday, make sure you've gone in and looked in the events section and you have signed up to be at the fireside chat with Sue. And I look forward to seeing you there. And we haven't decided, but it depends on if I can get my Zoom to actually share into the Facebook. If not, I won't be able to do it, but I may be able to have you guys come on screen and let's all chat together. But right now, that's up for whether I can get it all to work together. But I will see you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, and we will share and enjoy. And I love each and every one of you. So have a grateful day. Thank you, Wendy. Yes, have a grateful day. And I will see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern. Mwah.